7.
Hello, everyone. I know everyone's getting connected now, so I'll give everyone some time before we begin. Okay, we're currently at 73 and counting. We'll give it a few more minutes. $89 people. If anybody's trying to talk, microphones are muted, so we won't be able to hear anything. Yeah. You can obviously use the chat or the Q&A. I'll go into more details, though. I will be using those for this community Q&A session. But I would still want to hold off just a few more minutes until we can get some more people. Can everybody hear me? Just okay? You can just say yes in the chat. It's good? Yeah.
When the one is talking, like you're the moon.
Yeah, so we're still 112 people. I haven't started yet. I think I'll wait 5 more minutes. Or maybe 2 more minutes. I don't want to keep people if they have other things to do. And I'm sure the others will arrive later maybe. The microphones are off, so you will have to communicate through the Q&A and the chat. I'll explain later more, but the Q&A will be for submitting questions only, and the chat will be for discussing among yourselves, or just commenting among yourselves if you guys have, if you guys want to talk to one another. Okay. The reason why we do it like this is because the Q&A, the way it saves messages, it's easier for us to track questions and answer them at a later time. The chat is just a mess of responses, so it's harder for us to pull out questions from all that information. It's easier if you guys just keep the chat for conversing among yourselves. Okay, so I will begin. We are 114 people at the moment. So we had nearly 500 people registering. So if people join later, they join later. If not, well, I guess this is just for you guys then. So tonight, the community Q&A is sort of our first question and answer sort of webinar. What we're looking to do is some of you submitted questions. We will be answering them one by one. This may take some time, may take more than an hour. If you guys would like to leave, it's fine. I will continue and make sure I get everyone's questions. I'll explain in more detail. Tonight, yes?
Also refer to the recording.
Yeah, there's a recording afterward. I'm recording everything, so we will be posting this video afterwards, and you'll be able to fast forward to any specific parts you want answers for. Tonight, joining us is myself and Caitlin, located in the Boston, or more specific, Cambridge office of HomeExchange, okay, on the East Coast. And I apologize for anybody who had a mistake with the time zones. Yeah, that was an unfortunate mistake, and I've already missed a few meetings myself. Okay, as I said before, we have 2 things open on this specific community Q&A. We have the Q&A open. You can answer questions in private. Caitlin will be receiving them. She will maybe answer, maybe not. It depends on how many are coming through and how many she can handle. I think the majority of the questions have been already pre-asked by the registration form that most members have filled out. So yes, you can go ahead and submit questions there if you like, but the chat is the other feature that you guys can talk to one another on, and you can talk about you can comment on my speech, you can comment on anything you like. It's completely open, everyone will see what you're saying, and it's up to you what you want to post. Okay, this evening, what we're going to cover before we get into the questions and answers, I thought could be interesting if we cover a few new features. Some quick fixes, bug fixes, and certain features that are coming soon. I'm going to go over a little bit the results of the registration and explain to you how we're going to be handling the Q&A. Some of these features and coming soon features that are about the product haven't even been mentioned yet outside of this Q&A session, so it'll be some new information. Okay, new feature that I think everybody should be really happy about is that we have the verification, uploading your documents. So you can, instead of sending them to contact@homeexchange.com, you can now upload your documents directly to a secure server. If you go onto your home profile, as you can see in the screenshot here, you can click on verify your home. It'll take you to the following page. where you can upload your documents, as you can see, and submit them directly to our team for verification purposes. Okay. Quick fixes. So here we have the save bar. The save bar is actually a little feature. A lot of members were complaining of uploading information to their home profile, their personal profile, and they weren't knowing that they had to save. Now, every time you make a change to your profile, this orange save bar will pop up, and you can save your information. Like this, you're sure to see. Okay, bug fixes. I know in the beginning there was a big issue with response rate. So I'll explain to you a little bit how that works, and so how your response rate is also calculated. So basically it's based on the first response that you receive. So if a member were to write you and you were to respond to them, it's your response time within the first 24 hours of receiving that message. As the conversation continues, we do not calculate your response time to the following messages. When we first did the merge, there was an issue with the responses. It's because the conversations from before December 20th were taken into consideration. Now we only include conversations that have arrived in your account since December 20th. Also, if you by chance receive a message and delete it without responding, that will also negatively hurt your response rate. Okay? So maybe in that case, you could utilize the automatic responses if you're not interested in that specific request. Reviews. So when it comes to reviews, we originally imported over all of the finalized exchange reviews. So if you had a confirmed exchange on the old HomeExchange and you had a review from that exchange, then that was able to be easily sorted and uploaded to your new account. If that was not the case, then so in other words, you can ask us to go back into your account and sort it out for you and find the other reviews. Merged accounts. So we did also have a few members from the old HomeExchange and from the old Guest to Guest that they had two different accounts on two different platforms. We have merged these accounts into one now, and the member has told us which account they wanted to keep as their active one. We merged all the data of those accounts. I think we've done quite a few, but if for some reason your home was not included, please contact our team, and we'll at contact@homeexchange.com, and we'll be able to get that sorted for you ASAP. If it were the case that you were for some reason double charged, also because you had a HomeExchange account and you had a Guest to Guest account, I suggest you also make this known to our team, and we'll be able to adjust it. Okay, so coming soon, and these are a few things that are quite interesting. Okay, pay with PayPal. So at the moment, we do have members that renew their membership with a PayPal, but to purchase an optimal membership with PayPal is not currently available, but will be coming soon. We will be changing the calendar availability designation. So instead of saying instead of saying available or guest wanted, we will be saying. So actually, I can show you an image. We will be saying any type, which means that you're open to any type of exchange. Reciprocal, which means that you're open to only reciprocal exchanges. And non-reciprocal, which means you're only open to non-reciprocal. But you can obviously put multiple calendar availabilities based on what you're looking for at a specific time. Then once this feature is active, you will be able to search by reciprocal exchanges, filter only reciprocal exchanges, and that will be coming soon, okay? So as I said, the new filter, search by exchange type, which was what I just mentioned. Traveling groups, so soon there will be also in your profile the number of travelers in your group. You'll also be able to specify if you're adults or kids and the number of each, which will make it easier for you to understand if you're hosting a family, if you need kids beds or adult beds or stuff along those lines. The conversation status, which was always currently under discussion and a bit confusing for a lot of members, we will be changing that. So if you decline a conversation, it will be declined. If you're in discussion, it will be in discussion. and we will find all the proper labelings for the conversations. Modify, finalize exchanges from within the message system. So this is an issue that a few members have had where they have to change the dates of an exchange. And in order to do that, the normal process was to delete the exchange and then relaunch another exchange request to the member with different dates. The reason for this is because when you finalize the exchange, it's sort of like a contract between the two members. In this case, you have to redo the contract. Basically, what we're looking to do now is modify within the conversation the exchange dates, so you don't have to send another request, and it'll cut down on just ease of use of the website. The reverse search. So I wanted to go over this, and I know a lot of questions were about the reverse search in the question section and the topics that people chose to talk about. So I think by giving you this speech, I'll probably be answering a few of those questions. Their old reverse search will be coming back. We realized that there were a few issues with it. For starters, we had an issue in the beginning where the preferred destinations, because it was based on the preferred destinations, but we had outdated preferred destinations, we had too many preferred destinations, we had hidden preferred destinations, and these were a few bugs that were causing issues with the reverse search. The current issue now that we discovered is that there is a border issue on the mapping. So in other words, if you were to save a preferred destination, the map would take a larger area than expected. So in other words, we weren't mapping out the exact area of the preferred destination. And for this reason, we are working to redefine this sort of the mapping, the borders around the reverse search, which will help you to have a more exact search and come back with better results. So we are aware of it, we're working on it, and it should be coming out fairly soon. Okay, and it will be more similar to the old HomeExchange version. Okay, the Q&A session. So now we are only 124, not the 500 that nearly registered. That's fine. I chose that we didn't turn the microphone because for the members, because even over 10 people, I can assure you that it's really hard to speak one-on-one. It could be a case of what we organize in the future, maybe smaller groups. That could be something. But as I said, if you have any questions, feel free to add them to the Q&A. We can answer them later. And feel free to obviously speak to one another in the chat. Okay. Now, going into this, I had people fill out a registration form. The idea behind the registration form was to get a better understanding of where our members were coming from. Obviously, it's easier for the USA members, given that we're based in the USA. And I'm sure a few of the other countries probably got mixed up with the time change. But yeah, so I asked a few questions to help speed up the process and make sure that we covered all the topics. I labeled the topics by most important. And those are going to be the questions that I'm going to be starting with first. And then I'm going to be working down into the different sections. Okay, but you'll see as I move forward. So who we are tonight is we're roughly 63% Americans, 18% Canadian, 15% Australian, and 2% New Zealand. And then the 2% others from around the world. So if anybody's following us up from Europe right now, it's pretty impressive. It's kind of late there. So let's go on. Okay. This is another interesting little bit of info. So I was trying to gauge to understand a little bit how members, how long members have been with us for. The majority are quite experienced home exchangers, so that's good to know. One thing I did notice is a lot of members didn't know what plan they were on. So I'm just going to step out real quick here. And okay, so if you go to your dashboard and you go to your profile and you go to my plan. So now I created this account. I created this account because the last time I used my real account, I almost gave away information, so I created this one. So if you go to my plan, you will see what plan you're on. in this current, so since this is a test account that I created just for this webinar, I changed so I'm still an essential member here. So you can see I'm a current essential member. I can choose to pay for the optimal plan, which is $150 per year. So yeah, so a few people said they didn't know what their plan was. Actually, quite a few. It's profile, my plan, and you can see here. Okay. Getting back, we have the topics. So topics of discussion. We have tips to find an exchange was the most popular, followed by guest points, followed by guarantees and deposits. So you'll see that I'm going to start by answering all the questions that were based about tips to find an exchange. Okay, a few of the questions repeated themselves, so I might be skipping them. Obviously, feel free to repeat the question again in the Q&A if you think that I missed something important. There are quite a few questions. Way more questions than the number of people in this current Q&A session. So I will go as fast as I possibly can while still trying to be understood. If you guys feel like I should be skipping something or slowing down, tell Caitlin. She's following the chat, she's following the Q&A, and I'll be able to go back and comment on it, okay, in real time. Okay, so I can click here, but I already have the file open, so I just go into here. Okay, so now tips to find an exchange. So this file we made available on the blog afterwards so that you'll be able to see it. So Kelly asks, could there be a list of locations that homeowners submit that are guaranteed to be available for guest points? So as I said with the new calendar, and given that we're going to be changing the availability periods, you'll see people looking for non-reciprocal exchanges. In most cases, people who are looking for non-reciprocal exchanges are looking for guest points, are looking to host for guest points. So you could assume that in that case, those are the people looking for guest points. Will the reverse search be fixed, brought back? As I stated, that will be brought back. And it was an issue with the area around the preferred destinations and the mapping of those preferred destinations. What do I need to do to make our cabin more interesting to exchange? So a lot of members ask this question. They want to know how they can make their property more interesting to attract more exchangers. So now it's no like how do you say? It's no lie that the majority of people that probably receive a lot of requests in high destination areas, New York, LA. These are areas that probably the members receive a lot of requests. If your home is maybe in a quieter area or a lesser known area, it's true that you might not get a lot of requests. If that is the case, you can obviously feel free to push your exchange through the Facebook groups. You can contact our marketing team and we'll be happy to push maybe your listing in an email if you'd like to get some more views. You can obviously reach out to members. Reaching out to members and just proposing a reciprocal exchange or just letting them know that your home is available is also the case. Some members do not like this though. They think it's like trying to sell your place to them. And I can understand where they're coming from. But it is a case where I've had members do it to me. They'll write me a sort of a pre-fab message that says, come to my home. I'm looking for guest points. I'm looking to host somebody. And to be honest, I found some interesting homes. I'm personally open up to trying new places. I don't always per se go to the popular destinations, but everyone's different. Yeah, so definitely try the Facebook groups. You can join different Facebook groups if you're an optimal member. We have a lot of optimal member groups. And also you can contact our marketing team. You can maybe push your email in a different, push your listing in a different email. Interested in learning more about non-reciprocal exchanges. So non-reciprocal exchanges are basically exchanges where you use guest points. It's not mandatory though. If a member wants to host you without guest points, that's also their prerogative. They can do that. So yeah, it's basically when you send a request to somebody and they'll host you and either they'll travel to your house at a later time or you can give them guest points and they can go somewhere else, or they can host you at the same time that they're in their home. It's up to you and the other member. Non-reciprocal exchange just basically means that that person is not going to your house at the exact same time that you're going to their house, okay? So for us, a reciprocal exchange is any time an exchange happens in the same moment between two different members, okay? How do I target people who are interested in earning points? So that's similar to question 1. How do you exchange when you have no points and people ask to stay at your exchange with only, and not use any points? Okay, if you have no points and you're looking to exchange, well, one thing you can do to earn more points is to get on the Optimal membership, and you can earn a complimentary 500 guest points. If you're looking for more guest points, you can host people, obviously, to earn more points. You can also organize reciprocal exchanges for 0 guest points. So there are other options out there. If someone's looking to stay at your place for no guest points, I guess that would maybe fall into the reciprocal exchange category. We are new to HomeExchange and want to learn how to get the most out of the program. Well, John, welcome to HomeExchange. What I can recommend to you is join all the Facebook groups, join the Optimal membership, check out the website as much as you can. There's a lot of information to absorb. That I admit, join these Q&A sessions as much as you can. Feel free to reach out to me personally if you like. David@homeexchange.com is my email address. I frequently give that out, and I'm welcome to answer to anyone's questions. It's pretty, it's pretty easy. Just get on, fill out your account, profile, start searching for homes, adding in the dates, number of travelers, and start looking for places and contacting other members. Deborah, new category for search filters, long-term and public transport. Deborah, I think I know who this is. Debbie, nice to hope you're in the Q&A session. If you are, hello. Yeah, so we were thinking about doing this, but after the merge, it kind of took a back seat to other adjustments that we did to the website. I think your best bet still for public transport is probably Google or asking the member directly how to get to their home. And also for long-term exchanges, the calendar is probably, like we don't have a filter for searching for long-term exchanges. The best bet would probably be to just add in the calendar the destination, the period that you're looking to exchange for, and seeing which homes come up. I do know members that do long-term exchanges. I know one member who's been organizing an exchange now for 4 months in one place, so it is possible. Need help in getting our first exchange. Well, Alan, I'm glad to help you. If you want, David@homeexchange.com, let me know, and I will help you with anything you need. Laura, how do I opt out of guest points and just offer free stays or swaps? So, Laura, you can make it known that you do non-reciprocal exchanges with no guest points. The way you would do that is to go into your profile, My Home. Sorry, taking some time to load here. And you can see that under your calendar here, under your number of guest points per night, you can modify this to 0 guest points if you want to receive people for 0 guest points. You can also put this button on, which says that for reciprocal exchanges, I want my home to be set at 0 guest points, which means that anytime you organize a reciprocal exchange, it will be 0 guest points. If you forget to do all this in your home profile, once you go into the exchange, so you can, I created some test exchanges here. Caitlin actually sent me a request going into that now. So Caitlin was looking to come to My Home in this test scenario. It is a non-reciprocal exchange. I can change the number of guest points here by clicking on the little pen, adjusting the guest points to 0, if that is what you want to offer. And there you go, 0 guest points. I basically offered My Home to Caitlin for 0 guest points. So if you don't want to use guest points, it's not mandatory. Many listings have 0 exchanges and limited number of photos. Perhaps a way to filter out these homes from searches. Joanna, that is a great question and very easy to do. For starters, you will need to become a verified member, so you will need to update, upload your documents requested so that we can verify your address, your photo ID, and make sure that you're a real person with a real home to exchange. Once that's the case, you are searching for an exchange.
You're not on the questions.
Yeah, no, I'm showing them how to do it. So if you go into your profile, first of all, you can go into My Home. Now, this is the case if you're a verified member. Okay, if you're a verified member and you don't want to receive requests from people who have maybe false images in their profile or fake addresses, or people that you don't trust maybe, and you want to go only with verified members, you can turn on the filter. I wish to be contacted only by verified members. Only other verified members will be able to contact you for an exchange. If you're looking to yourself to contact these members, okay, because you only want to contact verified members because you feel safer doing so, that is fine. You can go into your filters here when you're organizing your search. So you can put Paris here, the date that you're leaving, the date that you're arriving at your destination, the date that you're leaving your destination, the number of guests, and then you can put verified homes. And this will show only verified homes in the destination of your choosing. Okay? So yeah, all these homes with the check mark are verified homes. Okay, non-reciprocal exchanges versus guest points. Not sure what the question is here. Non-reciprocal exchanges can be used with guest points if there's a guest points difference between the two homes. Guest point exchanges are usually non-reciprocal exchanges that you can exchange guest points for the stay. What specific things should I do to my cabin so I can have a successful exchange? I'm not sure if this question was you want more requests. If that's the case, refer to my previous question, my answer to question 4. And if instead you're looking for tips to organize the perfect exchange, we actually have a blog article that is very, very, very thorough on all the things to take into consideration when organizing exchange that we can share with you after this webinar. Karen says, I want to be able to filter as to neighborhoods with more info in certain areas. So you can, as long as our map works with Google Maps, our search function. So when you're searching for homes to exchange with, we recommend that you put the closest, maybe it's a town, maybe it's a street, whatever you can search. And if Google Maps can find it, then that street or that neighborhood will show up. You can also search a city and zoom in on certain areas, and it'll tell you what the homes are available in that area. Okay. Is a reverse search available? So, okay, we can skip that one. What is the most efficient method of finding an exchange in a country you want to go to at the time you want to go to? Okay, very good question, Beth. This is something that a lot of members, I think, coming from the older HomeExchange too, it could be a little different way of looking to organize the exchange. When you're looking to go for a place, you don't have to say, per se, look for a place that look for people wanting to come to your house, unless you're looking to organize a reciprocal exchange. But that's not always the case either, because if you're searching for anyone, it could be possible that you offer a reciprocal exchange to somebody. Maybe they didn't know reciprocal exchange was possible. So what I would recommend you do is go here, put in the destination you're looking to travel to. In this case, I will put Paris, Paris, France. I am looking to travel to Paris, France in, let's say, May 2nd to May 9th. Okay, I am 2 guests. Okay, I only want to search verified homes. I'm only looking for people with a response rate of greater than 80%. Okay, and now I have all the homes in the Paris area. Okay, now, are these members guests wanted? Are these members looking for reciprocal or non-reciprocal? I can't tell at the moment because I don't have the filter yet. But what you can do is, if they're showed up in the search, they're most likely available. You can click on them, contact them, see what they're interested in doing. If you want, you can zoom in on certain areas. So just double click on the map and you will see more homes appear in different areas, okay? So feel free to reach out to these members, offer them a reciprocal exchange, offer them a non-reciprocal exchange if you have the guest points, and see what you can organize. What is the most efficient method of finding an exchange in the country? Okay, sorry. is there a way to send multiple requests to a particular area? We do not have the spam send to multiple listings, but if you were to contact a listing and write a message and were to click on contact another member, that same exact message will appear in the other message bar. So you'll be able to send messages quickly, but you won't be able to send mass messaging, which is probably better because we did have members in the old HomeExchange complaining about spamming. Is there a way to send multiple requests? Okay. Can I exchange only one time per year? Alice, of course you can exchange one time per year. You can exchange as many times as you like. Just make sure that you put your availability in the calendar. And when you put your availability in the calendar, make sure that you put, so I'll show you real quick. So if I were to put my availability periods, which I did here, I can say that I wish to be contacted only regarding my available periods. Clicking that on. By clicking that on, members will only be able to contact me if they put in the dates for these specific areas, okay, or within these specific time frames. Anything else that's not in my availabilities they will not be able to send me a message, which will cut down on the number of messages I receive and make sure that I only get requests that are good for my dates and my availabilities. Okay. How hard is it to find an exchange where pet care is included? We have 4 cats who need looking after who will live at our home. 4 cats. Okay, this is a great question too. I like this one. So if you're looking to find an exchange, what you can do is use the filters. You can look for pets welcome. In this case, if pets are welcome, it might be the case where these members have pets themselves. And would be more willing to look after your pets for you. If you want to maybe filter by cat owners because maybe you trust them more, you can join the cat lovers group, for example. If you want to join this group, you can go into my profile. Okay, so now it's okay. This is my information. It's fine. Okay, these manage my groups. Okay. Here are a list of groups that I can join and become a part of. Okay, lifestyle. There should be one for leisure and passions. I think it might be this one. Which one is it? Which one? Lifestyle, sport, or leisure passion? Ah, there it is. Okay, so here I have cat lovers joining this group. I'm now part of the cat lovers group. Okay, when I go back to the search, I can now, sorry, my computer is very slow. I apologize. Yeah, and the internet's not the best here. So I have the group's cat lovers. If I click on this group, submit filters, and now I have all the cat lovers in our community. And these members might be more interested in exchanging with somebody who has 4 cats to take care of. Okay?
Do you have a specific date for reverse search?
We don't have a specific date for reverse search yet. I'm sorry about that. I don't want to say March. I don't want to say April. I'm saying it's definitely one of our top priorities in terms of dev work. So it's coming, but I don't want to say a date or a time and then it doesn't come true. So, okay, I have a gorgeous home in the foothills of LA. I can come. No success in a long-term rental with Arlington, Virginia. I'm sorry that I can't do much there. I can only recommend maybe expanding the search around Arlington and maybe looking for something fairly close by. But I'm sure a lot of people want to go to LA though, so sure you get a lot of requests. Helen, I would like tips on how to best attract people to my home. I think we covered that already. Bart, is it recommended to complete exchange agreements for each exchange, being reciprocal or non-reciprocal? So we don't have exchange agreements anymore. The way it works now is that everything in your conversation is pretty much sort of the agreement between you and the other member. When you're organizing the exchange, if you go into your messages, so I don't have any finalized exchanges because it's just a test account. But anything that were said between me and Caitlin, for example, in this conversation, even when I modified the yes points, you can see that it's registered right here. And I can register other details about the exchange, making it reciprocal, non-reciprocal. I can change the departure date and everything, number of guests. Once we confirm, so I would pre-approve her to stay in my home. Once I pre-approve and she finalizes the exchange, that acts as the agreement. And once that's done, it's pretty much good to go. Okay, so no more paper agreements. It's all done digitally now. Kathy, why doesn't my home come up when I search? Why are there so few homes showing in Canberra? So Kathy, I actually looked into your case. I could not find, so I looked in, I'm not sure if you used a different email to sign up for this Q&A session, but I looked for your home, when I looked for your account in the back office, it seemed that your home was not filled out. It was 15% filled out. So I'm not sure if that's your home or if you have another account maybe, but I could not find you with the email provided. So maybe shoot me an email with your HomeExchange email and I'll look into it for you. Beline says, I have been trying for months to arrange an exchange all over the world and I have had no luck. I'm very sorry to hear that. I'm saying all over the world is a pretty wide search area. So I find it hard to believe, but if that's the case, maybe change the dates. I haven't seen your account, but maybe your account has, maybe you're not verified, maybe I'm saying most members search verified, a lot of members search, maybe it's a summer season that you're looking at, that's a busy season, or maybe it's certain areas that are high demand areas. All I can recommend is that you fill out your home to the best that you can, as descriptive as possible, send as many messages as possible. We do recommend sending at least 15 messages per destination, okay? Hillary, how to do an exchange for a 3-bedroom Manhattan apartment. So you're looking for a 3-bedroom Manhattan apartment. I'm not sure, or if you have a 3-bedroom Manhattan apartment, if that were the case, then I think you'd find it very easily. But if you're looking for a 3-bedroom Manhattan apartment, that's fairly difficult, I think, as well. Not sure how many people in Manhattan have 3 bedrooms, but if they do, it's probably a smaller list already of a smaller group, so it's going to be difficult, I'm not going to lie. What I can recommend is maybe searching in Queens, Brooklyn, the Hudson Valley, where people maybe have bigger homes, bigger spaces. I can say that the Hudson Valley is full of fairly large homes. And also across the river in New Jersey, Hoboken area, right across from Manhattan, there are a few homes. So maybe just expand your search. But I can't guarantee that you'll find a 3-bedroom in Manhattan. How do I tag an area or type of area I'd like to exchange with? Want to trade my mountain home for a beach or lake home. So when you're doing this, you can. We don't have tagged areas, specific areas. What you can do though is, so now, as I said before, if you're looking to go to a mountainous area, you can search for the area per se. If you know a general area, maybe in Europe or the USA where you're looking to go, that you know has mountains, and see who's there. If there's any areas in mind, you can, once you do the search, you can save that search under your saved destinations. And like this will know that you're looking to go to that area. Another thing that you can do if you're looking for maybe a home, so in other words, like I said, you kind of have to know where you're going because we don't have them grouped, beach homes or mountain homes. If you're looking for a home with certain amenities, you can go into the filters. And you can search by maybe a home with, you can search for a home with a pool, a home with a garden, a home with a hot tub. These are things that you can search for. It's possible. Okay. I need general info. Sylvian, you can definitely write me, David at HomeExchange. I can forward you to one of my French colleagues who can give you general info. I do recommend going in the frequently asked questions, the FAQ. We have it in French, English, German, Italian, any language, and you have more info there. Why don't my cross-referencing home selections match my area? I'm not sure what you mean by this. If it's talking about the reverse search, like I said, we're fixing the areas and the borders around which we label the confines of sort of a search. Thomas, how do I remove a house from my system after I have received a no regarding a potential exchange so I don't contact them again? Okay, so when you go into messages, open my messages in a new tab. So now, say I were to delete my message with Caitlin, what you can do is simply click the delete message and it will delete the message, or you can archive it and it won't appear in your all messages section. You will probably find it in your archived messages, and like this, you know you won't be contacting them again. If you do search, for example, in the area where that member was living, it might say already contacted, so you'll be able to see that you've already had a conversation with that person. The reverse search function. Okay, reverse search we covered. I haven't become a member yet, but I am quite interested. Okay, Tom, well, happy to hear that. If you have any questions, David at HomeExchange.com. We'll get you situated as best we can. Fran, also want to know more about guest points and warranty and deposits. So that's more about that later. I guess we'll cover that later since we're just talking about tips for exchanging. We'll cover that in guarantees and guest points, guarantees, and deposits area. Is there any way to make my home more prominent prominent to view when I have some short-term availabilities, example Easter? Liz, we just recommend that you obviously make your home available and put your availability in your calendar, and that's your best chance at making sure that you appear in the search when somebody's looking for you. David says, most concerned about the diminished number of contacts I have been getting since the changeover. Dave, I'm not sure where your home is located. It could be maybe because of the reverse search and when people are searching. Like I said, if you need more coverage, reach out to the marketing team, me. If you need, we can maybe push your home in a special mailer. Or you can, of course, look on the Facebook groups and share your listing link with everyone. Isabel says, indicate whether a car exchange is possible or not. So now in some cases, members do exchange cars. I can say though that we do not cover that in our home exchange services. The home is covered, the exchange is covered, but the car is something separate. I know maybe in countries like USA, generally speaking, the car insurance, usually if you invite someone to use your car, I think it's usually covered, but don't take my word for it. So yeah, it's up to the members if they want to exchange cars. Claudette says, should I look for a place where people want to come to my home? So that's the reverse search again. It's like I said, well, once the reverse search works, I'm sure people will love using it. What I can say though is, when you go onto the website, I know people want to look to see who's coming to their home because maybe they're looking to organize reciprocal exchanges. But I'm saying there's so many more members to contact now. Just be sure to add the destination in the search bar, the dates that you're looking to travel, the number of travelers in your group, and send out messages. See who comes up. I'm saying you never know who's interested in doing an exchange. It could be somebody who maybe just put anytime, available anytime, and before you know it, you're organizing a reciprocal exchange. So don't be afraid to be the one who reaches out and starts the conversation and does the search. Like, in other words, when you go on the website, think, where do I want to go today? and search that area. And I'm sure in the meantime you'll be getting requests that you might find interesting. But yeah, look where you want to go and talk to members, see what they say. Okay, we're almost done here with tips. How do I find homes who want to come to just my state, home of Oregon? Reverse search does not achieve this. So sorry, we'll skip this one because it's about reverse. Many people do not accept points anymore. I have over 11,000. What can I do about it? So Justin, I think that's a lot of guest points. So yeah, and maybe use the filter guest wanted for the time being. When the filter arrives of non-reciprocal, maybe you could start using that one and just filter your searches to make sure you're finding people who want to receive guest points. I do know that a few older HomeExchange members aren't too thrilled about using the guest point system, and they've opposed it a little bit. If that's the case, I'm saying try and organize a reciprocal exchange. But I can tell you there are a lot of people looking to host for guest points. I myself am one of them. So yeah, if you're looking for guest point exchanges, check it out. Kim, can you make the reverse feature more refined? Okay, so yeah, we're actually, that's a good point. We're working on that. Refined, that's a better way to put it. I find the search facility for an exchange confusing to use compared to the old HomeExchange site. Tips appreciated. So it's like I said before, when you're looking for an exchange, don't look. It's not about who can come to my home. It's about where can I go. So type in a destination of where you're looking to travel. Okay, when you type in a destination where you're looking to travel, and see what homes are available, and reach out to them and see if they're looking to do a non-reciprocal or a reciprocal exchange. Vicky, I found her using the guest wanted, but when I got into the results, the person does not want a guest during my selected time. That is strange. Maybe she was in discussion with somebody else. I don't know the particular case, but it does happen where you contact somebody for guest wanted. It might also be that they don't understand the designation of what that means, guest wanted. Hopefully the new calendar labels will make it easier for people to understand. What can I do to get an exchange for both reciprocal and guest points? Well, kind of covered that, so I'll move on. Gina, that being then finding me on certain dates. Yeah, so finding you on certain dates, to me this means sort of just update your calendar, make sure your availability periods are there, and you'll start showing up in the search when people search for those dates. Glenn, how can we improve our chances of an exchange as we are not as successful as others? Glenn, I'm sorry to hear that. So yeah, just make sure to use the filters. Response rate 80%, verified members, availability periods, guest wanted. These are the members that are most looking, are probably the most active, the most interested in organizing an exchange. Reach out to them and see what happens. Optimizing reverse search, yes. I would like to be able to search for things like with a certain distance from a beach, lake, pool, or scheme. Yeah, sorry about that. Like I said, it's not possible. But yeah, you'll just have to search on certain areas. Have you considered creating a designation for nomadic lifestyle or freestyle traveler? Nicole, you can actually do it. It's in the groups section again. You'll have people who have signed up as nomads, digital nomads, or people with, you saw all the different lifestyles and different sort of groupings of people. You can join one of those groups and filter by those groups, and you'll find more like-minded people maybe, and you can exchange with them. Margaret, we're having trouble finding an exchange for us to use. Margaret, I'm sorry to hear. As I said to Glenn previously, use the filters, and hopefully something will come. Michelle, what do the different pins on the map represent? Some have a white circle and some have a check mark. The white circle means that they're not verified, and check mark means verified. Gail, can we please get the ability to search a listing number back? So Gail, unfortunately you can't search for the listing number in the search bar. It's only for Google, Google addresses. But what you can do, and what some members do, is we've tried to make the listing number more visible. So if you do go onto someone's account, in this case, I will just cancel here, and we'll go onto this member's account. Okay, so you will see that the home ID is here. Now, I copied the URL, okay, and I can save the URL and search for it later. So go into the member's account and copy their home ID here. You can also, if you want, instead of copying the URL, you could also just copy and paste this number here. You can switch it out with this number here, and it'll take you exactly to that address, okay? So you can save the URLs, or you can also add homes to your favorites. It's a way to keep a track of maybe homes, members, or listings you have a special connection with, or you're looking to track. How do I find where I can use my guest points? So Colleen, as I said, look for members with guest wanted or non-reciprocal exchanges, and they're probably most likely people looking to receive guest points for their stays. Celeste, what's the best way to find an exchange in the right place at the right time? Celeste, the best way to do it, search for a specific destination, add the dates and the number of travelers, and the search will pull up the best results for available homes. Like I said, it's the best way to use the search. Add where you want to go, and the dates that you're looking to go, and we'll match you with people who have availability in that time frame, in that area. For a first-time exchanger, what is your best tip? Best tip, quite a few, but I'd say the best tips are do everything. I'm saying home exchange is a lot about trust. You're basically convincing another person to let you stay in their home. And they want to know sort of, what kind of skin you have on the line as well. So if they see that you have a completed account, if they see you put up home pictures, if they see you got verified, if they see you took the optimal subscription, they can see that you're somebody who's taking it very serious. Reach out to people. Obviously, send as many requests as you can. It is a little difficult, I'm not going to lie, when you first sign up to find an exchange. It's obviously because you don't have any reviews maybe. So yeah, try, send a few messages, make sure you fill out your account as best you can, and once you find an exchange, make sure you treat that member's house with respect. Get that great review, and you'll see that it'll be a little bit easier to find exchanges the next time around. Rafaela, can we add a feature to search by keyword, modern or beach? Unfortunately, it's not how the search works. It's still, like I said, Google Maps. 1D says, I have earned 5,000 plus guest points, but I'm having difficulty arranging an exchange. So yeah, like I said, I can't, I'm sorry to hear that. Saying I've heard from members who said that. I've heard members who said they find a lot of exchanges. I guess it has to do with maybe where you're looking or how you're looking. Could be the areas, maybe high demand areas. If you're looking to spend a few guest points, maybe you can use them towards maybe a nice home in a quieter area. Look for guest wanted, look for people looking to non-reciprocal exchanges, and just keep sending those requests. Janine, why does Spain and France come up when I'm searching for an exchange in Morocco? This has to do with the map borders. I think we mentioned previously that we were looking to expand the map borders so that we can include more homes in the map. This probably goes back to also maybe an issue with why the preferred destinations don't work. So yeah, we're trying to be as broad as we can to show you homes, but when you're searching Morocco and it's right next to Spain and France, it'll probably show other homes. All I can recommend you do now is zoom a little bit further in on Morocco, and you'll probably find more homes than just Morocco. Jody, when is reverse search going to be fixed? So, yeah, like as I said before, are home exchangers finding it difficult to find an agreeable time slot with the other exchanger? So reciprocal exchanges, it can be an issue, which is why the guest point system came into play. It just gives members more flexibility to organize their exchanges. So hopefully when the new filters come out, non-reciprocal, reciprocal, you'll be able to search specific exchanges with specific timeframes, and it'll be easier. Spiro says, what can HE do to provide a more transparent view and realistic expectation for finding an exchange in different cities or regions? Spiro, good question. I'm saying we're trying to grow the community to meet the demand. It's just the case where if you're looking in high demand cities, it's going to be hard. It's not much we can do at the moment, but I'm saying you have a lot of members spread out across the country, spread out across the globe, looking to exchange. If you're looking for a certain area at a certain time, it can be a little difficult. If you're looking for New York City, Los Angeles, if you're looking to go to one of these places, maybe just don't put any dates in, see what's available, and if you have a flexible schedule, the more flexible you are, obviously the easier it is to find an exchange. But yeah, Caroline says, what happened to the feature where you could see who wanted to exchange in your area? Reverse search, okay, this is reverse search as well. Karen says, how to secure an exchange for a single homeowner wanting to get away from Connecticut winters for 2 to 3 months. Karen, I understand, living in Boston. 2 to 3 months, so like I said, add the dates. I know it's a long-term exchange, but there are people with availabilities. Another thing too you can search for, Karen, is in the filters. There is a filter that I sometimes can use. It's called secondary homes. Secondary homes usually have more availability. Might be easier to find a long-term exchange if you search secondary home. And you can obviously offer guest points for that home, or you can basically ask the member if it's possible to organize a non-reciprocal exchange at a later date. And so in other words, keep the guest points at 0, organize a non-reciprocal exchange, and then that member can then go to your home at a later time in another non-reciprocal exchange with 0 guest points. So you can work it out that way, but it's one of the options. Rose, can you choose specific locations to stay? Yes, like I said, search function. Add where you want to go, as specific as you can be, and if Google search can find it, you can go there. Well, also if there's members there. Judy, can't make the time work for me, but would appreciate hearing how to boost requests for exchanges and simultaneous, not simultaneous. Yes. Judy, sorry to hear you couldn't make it. Put your availability. So right now it's called availability. So in other words, update your calendar. So like this, you're guaranteed to be in search. Make sure you put available. Once the filters and the calendar availability terminology changes, maybe just put anytime, and like this, people will contact you for simultaneous or non-simultaneous exchanges, and you'll be more interested. Like in other words, people will be able to find you easier because you're anytime means you're always in the search. Frank, what is the best way to search for an available exchange? Frank, as I said, put the destination in the search, arrival, departure, guest number, and you should be okay. Okay, moving on to guest points. So, okay, so we'll start up here. Guest points is a lot of questions as well, as you can see. The other tabs don't have that many questions, but if I'm losing people, I'm sorry. Just trying to get through this. So, guest points, how do they work? So, guest points, it's easiest way to explain it. It's sort of like a digital currency, but it has no financial value outside of the website. It is similar to the balloon system. I'm sorry if anybody's not from the old home exchange doesn't know what that is. It's basically just taking the value of the time between the two people and putting it into an external quantity so that people can then exchange that quantity to travel to different places. Okay, it's the guest points. They make exchanging flexible, but they are not needed for every exchange. Okay, it's just when you want to use them, they could come in handy. Carol, how do I change the guest points I will accept? Carol, as I showed before, you can go into your home profile. You can increase this by as much as 30, or you can decrease it as much as 0. So you can make your home 0 guest points. I'm sure a lot of people will contact you then. Yeah, by the way, that brings me up to a good point. If maybe not a lot of people are contacting you, reduce the number of guest points for your home, and maybe your home will be more attractive to people with fewer guest points to use. Or you can go into the exchange, for example, as I stated previously, and adjust the guest points in the exchange details section. So you can change the guest points here, click on the little pen, change the guest point value, and you can change the guest points.
Clarify that guest points are not when you do a hospitality exchange.
Yeah, when you do a hospitality exchange, in that case, it's maybe a non-reciprocal exchange. So maybe you're not going to the member's home, but the member's coming to your home, hospitality exchange. You do not need to use guest points. You can tell that person that, hey, looking to come to my home, I won't be there, so you can stay there, 0 guest points. Just make sure that as the host, you make this 0 guest points before you pre-approve the exchange. Okay, so I want to do a hospitality exchange with Caitlin. I'll put that at 0 guest points, confirm that, and she will have to pay 0 guest points to stay at the home.
So that you're also.
Yeah, so yeah, 2 ways of hospitality exchange. You can maybe not be in the home. If you have a big home and you have a room, or you want to offer your home even when you're there, that's possible as well. And as I said, it's called a hospitality exchange. It's not like a designated exchange type within the system. But yeah, just make it known to your other exchange member that you're interested in having them come to your home, but that you may be there. In any case, you know, it could be 0 guest points. You can do whatever you want it to be. Patricia, how are listings evaluated and how can evaluation be changed? So Patricia, when you fill out the form, when you subscribe to the website and you fill out all the home data, based on the way you fill out your home, the amenities that are available, the location, if you're in the heart of a very big city like New York, or maybe you're in the countryside, these all affect how your home is calculated for the guest points value per night. And the algorithm will give your home evaluation. Yeah, another thing too is that, like I said before, if you want to change the number of guest points per night in your home, you can raise this as much as 30 guest points and more, or you can reduce it down to 0 if you like. So yeah, it's still modifiable afterwards, but the higher the guest point value of your home, the less requests you'll probably receive. How to gain and use balloons. So Judy and Tom, balloons are no longer available. On the new HomeExchange, balloons have been converted to guest points. So guest points are the new way to exchange homes. If you're looking for non-reciprocal exchanges. Ray, will you reduce your focus on guest points? So Ray, guest points are what you make them to be. We did reduce the size of the guest points on the homes so that they're less visible. So people don't focus so much on the guest points when looking at homes, but focus more on the account, the member, and the relationship between the members. If you're looking to use, so yeah, in other words, it's up to you. If you want to use guest points, or if you don't want to use them, you know, obviously you make do what you can do. Bonnie, how to search for a hosted stay using guest points, not any kind of exchanges. Bonnie, like I said, you can search for guest wanted or non-reciprocal exchanges, and you'll be able to find people looking for guest points. Okay, this one we covered. Cheryl, can we opt out of guest points as they are very confusing? You sure can, Cheryl. Just put your home at 0 guest points, so nobody will have to give you guest points. When members contact you, explain to them that you do not want to use guest points and see what they say. And you can also put, as I showed you in the filter before, that for reciprocal exchanges, I want my home to be 0 guest points. And it will automatically be 0 guest points when you organize reciprocal exchanges. Once you have completed an exchange, is there a section on the site that saves confirmed bookings? Yes, once you have finalized an exchange, you can go into your messages, finalize exchanges here. If you click on this, it will bring you to another folder with all your exchanges that are finalized. Melissa, what was the balloon to guest point exchange completed at? The balloon to guest point exchange was completed on December 19th when we organized the official merge of the old HomeExchange to the new HomeExchange. and one balloon is worth 1,500 guest points. So if you had a balloon prior to the exchange, it was converted to 1,500 guest points. Bill, do I need to always use points even with reciprocal exchanges? No, you do not, as I stated before. Hale, I would like to know how the guest points are working. What percentage of total exchanges are for guest points? Average guest points cost per day. I would have to say that maybe the average guest point changes per city. I think if you were to do like a countrywide guest points, global-wide guest points evaluation, you're probably looking around 100, 110 guest points per evening, per night. How the guest points are working, what percentage of total exchanges are guest points. So I can say that I think it's over 80% of exchanges are guest point exchanges. Why is this the case? People do request for reciprocal exchanges. It just so happens that usually it's easier to organize guest point exchanges. People do organize reciprocal exchanges, but maybe it's a reciprocal exchange at a later date. So it's basically two non-reciprocal exchanges because it's someone coming to your home, making the connection, meeting the person, telling them, okay, yeah, it was nice, and I'll come to your home sometime in the next year. Obviously, you go back into your finalized exchanges. You contact that person again. Hey, I'm looking to come to your home. Two non-reciprocal exchanges. You might have used guest points in that case. So yeah, it's not that guest points are used in 80% of the exchanges. It's what I want to say is non-reciprocal exchanges are probably 80% of the exchanges. Can you explain it or if or when the guest points feature may be modified to be optional? We want to exchange, not short-term rent. Okay, William. Yes, as I said, it's already modifiable. You can put 0 guest points. You can say reciprocal exchanges with no guest points. You can put availability periods and not let people contact you. And soon you can also put, like I said, that you're looking for reciprocal exchanges or non-reciprocal exchanges. And block your calendar so that no one else can contact you outside of those dates. So, how to find members who are interested in exchanging exactly my town where I live. This is sort of a reverse search feature, so I'll skip this one. What is the purpose of guest points? It seems to defeat the original purpose of home exchange. So Frederick, the purpose of guest points, it's just to create more flexibility. Home exchange is great. It's a great way to meet people. It's a great way to meet really welcoming people. But time and time again, even with the old home exchange and the balloon system, once the balloon system was created, having this sort of barter system, it helps to increase the number of possible exchanges. So why do we have guest points? Because it creates more flexibility and more chances for people to do more exchanges. And the more that people do exchanges, the happier they feel with the website and the better chance they are to stay, which means that the bigger community we have and the more exchange opportunities for everybody involved. Garland, do you ever stay at your house while taking in someone with guest points? So I have never done that, but I do know members that have, and I've never taken in somebody at my home while I was there, but I have been to other people's homes while they were there. So it happens. You don't have to charge guest points. It's up to you. Mark, not sure how to calculate guest points. No worries, Mark. Just fill out your home profile and the algorithm will calculate them for you. And then you can modify them based on what you're looking to offer for the nightly fee. Christina, can you buy additional guest points if you don't have enough for a trip? Christina, yes, that is possible. It can get expensive though, so it's not recommended. It happens in very few cases where members need to purchase a few extra guest points. You cannot purchase guest points. You can only purchase guest points in the moment you're finalizing the exchange, so you can't just go onto a specific page and buy guest points, because that would make them a digital currency, and they are not. You can purchase them for, I think it's a little difficult to explain. But put it this way: if you're missing like 20 guest points, 30 guest points, reach out to us and we can maybe help you out. If you're missing a lot of guest points, reach out to us again and maybe we can help you out. We had people who spent one time like 400, 500 euros for to fill out the remaining guest points that they needed for a long-term exchange. Obviously, this is a red flag for us. We see the spending on guest points. We go to see what the issue is and why they didn't have enough guest points. And if we can help them out, we help them out. We don't have this in place for people looking to spend guest points. That's not what we're looking for. It's just an option in case somebody's looking for those 5 or 20 extra guest points. How do you arrive at the number of guest points your home received per night? Are there ways to increase the number of points? I think we covered this. I have 6,000 guest points and very few people want to take them. They refer me to their Airbnb. Mary, if anybody refers you to their Airbnb, please flag them immediately so that we can, it's not what we're about. We're not about charging people fees for nightly stays. So yeah, definitely flag that person and they'll be in our system as flagged and we'll reach out to them. It has been the case, I've noticed that in a few times in maybe a high traffic area, members maybe increase the number of guest points for their listing because they seem to be getting a lot of requests. But yeah, definitely flag anybody that says that. Okay, how does it work? Cover that. Julie, do guest points ever expire? No, they do not. Always in your system, always in your account. I'm noticing a trend that higher end properties not use guest points. Any thoughts? I think this might be a few of the older HomeExchange members who are looking to reduce who don't want to use the guest points, so they put them at 0. If that's their choice, that's their choice. So yeah, reach out to them, see if they want to do a reciprocal exchange. Judith, will members who join HomeExchange and guest to guest be compensated for double membership fees with guest points or refunds? Judith, I remember this question. I was looking over it before. I looked into your account. I'm not sure. I did not find 2 different accounts. Maybe both are under the same one now, but I only see one payment. In any case, definitely reach out to me, david@homeexchange.com. We'll see if you paid for 2. Obviously, it's not needed. And we'll see what we can do there. Alice, too risky to accept guest points when I don't know if I'll be able to use the points elsewhere. How are guest points estimated? So we covered the guest points, how they're estimated. Too risky to accept guest points. If you're not willing to receive guest points, I understand. I'm saying, as I said, they come in handy a lot of times. We have members that love them, so, and it's proven time and time again that they work. If that's not the case or you don't want to receive them, it's fine. Just make sure that you say that you're looking for reciprocal exchanges and only reciprocal exchanges. Denise, when writing an exchange, there's an option for non-reciprocal or reciprocal. I feel there should be an option for points. Yes, so we don't want to stress points too much. It's up to the member. I'm saying non-reciprocal or reciprocal. If they want points, they take points. If not, it's their choice. How are guest points calculated? Covered this already. How do I search for people who are willing to accept guest points? Covered this already. Can we change points given by HomeExchange? Covered this one already. I think this one we covered. Do homes use guest points, or are you able to use traditional ways? Do you have to use guest points? Well, okay, that one's covered. I can't use or accept guest points, but people still keep asking me, though I state this is my posting. Okay, yeah, so in this case, Nancy, I would say that definitely set your guest points to 0. Say that you're only available for reciprocal exchanges, and if that's the case, maybe set some availability periods and make it so that the people can't contact you outside of those availability periods by turning on that filter. This to cut down the number of requests you're getting. William, why no description of home photos anymore? Yeah, William, this is actually something that we're working on. It hasn't been released yet, this update, but we're working on it. Luis, how are the guest points used to credit your HomeExchange account? I'm not sure what this means, but once you finalize the exchange, you will receive the guest points automatically once the exchange is finalized. So that way you can have time to then organize your exchange guest points. if you're looking to organize something. Points. We have been very frustrated using points to stay. John, I'm sorry to hear that. All I can say is keep trying. There are a lot of members out there looking to receive guest points. Any pointers on car insurance? Covered this before. Car exchanges, it's up to you. We only cover the exchange with our home exchange service. Virginia, if somebody asks to come to my home just for guest points, what will happen if the people that I want to go to do not agree? So in this case, obviously, if you welcome somebody to your home for guest points, that means that you have the guest points to then use. I can only say that you can then ask, if that's not the case, then maybe find someone else that's willing to accept the guest points, or maybe organize an exchange at a later date. In other words, maybe they host you, and then they can host, and you can host them at a later date. So it's something to get around it. Sylvia, why do you keep pressing us to confirm exchanges? Why is the website so hard to use? Sylvia, I apologize that you find it hard to use. I do admit that maybe you have a little bit of issues since the beginning of the merge. We keep pressing to confirm exchanges. I'm not sure what you mean by that. We do request that when you do organize an exchange, that you finalize it through our system so that you confirm the home exchange agreement between you and the member. And we do push members to do exchanges because, well, that's what we're hoping is people travel as much as they can. Susan, I do not understand how guest points work. I want to travel. Why do I want points? Susan, because points give you flexibility. So you can keep searching reciprocal exchanges, but you may receive an offer of somebody who's looking to host you for guest points. So it just offers you more options. What is the most significant difference to the new platform compared to the old platform? Well, that's a good question. So honestly, I'm saying this is a good question. It takes some time. So when it comes to the new platform, the biggest difference I'd have to say is probably ease of use and safety. So when I say ease of use, it's definitely different from the old platform, so it can be taken, it's a learning curve. When it comes to safety, it's because we're based on a new, technically speaking, it's a safer, more secure website in terms of protection against outside threats or privacy. It's a more updated coding system, so we can easily create new features that members request. Obviously, it takes some time. Nothing comes that easy, but it was definitely a lot easier than making updates to the old platform. And obviously, the biggest difference between the old platform and the new platform is that you have a lot more exchange opportunities with a lot more people. So it's a bigger community, but it just means more exchange opportunities for everybody involved. So this one we covered. I see the next one we covered quite a bit. I don't understand the markers on the map. So this is not really guest points, but like I said, the markers are where homes are. Check marks verify members. Are guest points eroding the community feel of home exchange? By Chris. Chris, the community home exchange feel, I'm saying it is what you make it. I'm sorry if you feel that way. We have a lot of great members, okay? And guest points, I'm saying they're just there to be helpful. Hopefully when the new calendar comes out, if you just want to do reciprocal exchanges with no guest points, I'm saying by all means do it. But you might come across a chance where you get to use those guest points to go to someplace really interesting. And if that's the case, I'm saying as long as you're happy and you get to travel, then we're happy. We just want members to travel. Like, we want to bring travel to everyone. And obviously, we ask that members respect the system and the community, and we monitor daily, on a daily basis, all these things. But, you know, it is what you make it, and I think we have a lot of great members and a lot of passionate members in our community. How many exchanges have not gone well and the homeowners incurred expenses to fix? Sue, interesting question. Less than 0.5% of exchanges, 0.5%. So not 1%, less than 1%. 0.5% of exchanges were exchanges where members needed to use a deposit. Okay, and in that case, we're part of the arbitrator between the two members, and we resolve the issue. You break a cup, you claim that a cup was broken. They take the money out of deposit to pay the member. There aren't many cases where we use the insurance. Usually, if anything, is the cancellation guarantee. So if a member cancels on you and we can't find you a replacement exchange, we will put you in a hotel for 100 euros per night as like sort of the cap. So that's an interesting feature that we have used before, and members seem to like that one. But yeah, less than 0.5% of exchanges have ended with expenses to fix. Pat, what happens if your guest changes their mind and comes back to you? It's not registered as you thought. I want points back. Okay, so in this case, I'm not sure the specifics of this case. I think it would need more details. But if they were to cancel on you, then you could fall into the cancellation guarantee. If they want their points back. So now, when I think it's a guest cancels on the host, it's at the host's discretion if they would like to give the guest points back. So it's so obviously it's a kind thing to give the guest points back, but maybe you were counting on those guest points. So yeah, if that's the case, obviously it's your choice if you want to give them back to the member. So yeah. Guest points, use and emailing responses. I'm not sure what this question is, so I'm going to skip. Judy, why don't people want guest points? Judy, I think it's because some people don't agree with the guest point system, but there are a lot of members that do. So it's just a matter of finding members who will want to use and accept the guest points. Lynn, how can I tell if a member whose home I'm looking at or who has contacted me is interested in using only guest points only? So yeah, this goes back to sort of the calendar availability. If you see guest wanted, it most likely means guest points. Once we come up with the new calendar labels, reciprocal, non-reciprocal, anytime. Non-reciprocal and anytime is most likely people looking for guest points. Now, what happens if after using guest points, we decide we wanted to stop our subscription and cancel? Do we owe any money? So if you don't owe any money. If you use the guest points for an exchange, obviously you will have to maintain the subscription until the end of your exchange. And then after the exchange is done, if you want to cancel the subscription, that's up to you. But yeah, you don't have to pay for guest points, or if you want to give them up, you give them up. It's up to you. Would like an itemized account on guest points so we know who has paid and when, as I have 2 holiday houses. Sure, that's sort of already available. If you go into guest points and you click here, view all. Our internet is really slow. So here, and you click view details, you can see exactly where the guest points you earned are coming from and why you received them and on what date you got them. Almost done with guest points, and I'm going to go to guarantees. How do I book a 2-week trip when the first week will be reciprocal and the second week will be guest points? Easy. You book 2 different exchanges. 2 requests. One is a reciprocal exchange between you and the same member. I send another request for a non-reciprocal exchange for the following week. So 2 different dates, 2 different time frames, 2 different exchanges. Rod, how do guest points work? This one we skip. I'm going to go to this one. Do the guest points work on the number of days of stay and the size of the property, and can it work on negative points? It cannot work on negative points, but you can enter into I'm saying in certain occasions, we do let you enter into negative points on the premise that you will, I'm saying if you hosted somebody before and we know that you're most likely going to host again, we might be able to help you out. But we will not help you out if you have not hosted anyone. Is marking your calendar in green, a teal, most effective in generating interest from people? Yes, green or the guest walk-in, it's fine. What happens if I cannot find a mutual exchange during the first year of membership? If you cannot find a mutual exchange and you tried, we do offer a second year guarantee, exchange guarantee. But you have to try, and there's like requirements, and if you tried and couldn't find anything, help you out. This is a category. Join the animal lovers group and search by it. This group here. Can you make it easier for folks to find simple reciprocal exchanges? Soon we will. The filter's coming. Reciprocal exchanges. How can we make sure that special trust we build while exchanging is continued when using the guest points? That special trust. That special trust comes from the conversation you have and your meeting with the members beforehand. Organize that Skype call. Write in the messages. Get to know each other. Just because you're using guest points doesn't mean you can't take the time to get to know one another. Be at the home to greet them when they come. I'm saying take the extra effort. Get to know the person. Guest points are just an easy way to make exchanges. Doesn't mean you don't have to get to know the person. When using guest points, do we still have direct communication with the host? Of course, all the time. Gina, where is live chat and phone support? Reverse search, coming. People with no place to host using people with no place to host using guest points. Gina, where is live chat and phone support? It's coming back on once we can finally get to all the tickets. But yeah, it's coming back soon. People with no place to host using guest points. Yes, that is a possibility. People with no place might sign up, fill out a fake account, and use their guest points. To avoid doing this, search only verified members and only let verified members contact you. And you will not be contacted by these people. Okay? We also monitor our system, so we do see when this does happen. We do have members who do this sometimes, but they end up hosting at a later date. So yeah, just be careful and make sure to use the verified filter. Make sure that you do not get contacted by any of these people. Mark, why are exchanges being de-emphasized and rentals, guest points being encouraged? Mark, I don't feel that's the case. Our emphasis is on finding an exchange. If it's easier with guest points, then we encourage our members to use guest points. If members want to do reciprocal exchanges, we encourage them to do reciprocal exchanges. We want everyone to travel, we want everyone to exchange, we want everyone to be happy with the system. But it is what you make it, and it is what you want to do, okay? The same members that were in the old home exchange are in the new home exchange. That's the exchange spirit of reciprocal exchanges is still there. But yeah, okay, guarantees and deposit, getting onto this. Okay. Do reciprocal agreements require deposits? Yes, they do. In this case, deposits are mandatory on every exchange. Okay, it's a part of the system. It's there for your own protection, and it's not a deposit. It's a deposit. It's just a hold that we can. How do you say? The permission to hold, if need be, $500, 500 euros on your account. Okay, at the time of the exchange. This is new to me. Sorry, this one. Why does Home Exchange use unsecured email for uploading personal documents and validating accounts? It's not the case anymore. It's now available to do verification from directly uploading your documents to a secure server. How can I trust that people using my home will be respectful and trustworthy? There's no guarantee in this, which is why we have the Home Exchange service, because if somebody were to mistreat your home, we're there to help you. The best way to avoid this is to speak to the person beforehand, get to know them, and make sure you know who's coming to your home. But yeah. Greg, what steps can be taken to verify someone's identity. If somebody has 0 reviews and few exchanges, how can I feel comfortable? This is a common question, Greg. Contact only verified members. At the same time, though, dive into someone's account if they contact you. If you want to open your home to non-verified members, that's fine as well. We were all new home exchangers at one point. Maybe look through their profile, see how well they filled it out, see what kind of images they have. Get to know them beforehand. Invite them to get verified maybe, so that like this way you could feel a little bit safer. But in worst case scenario, like I said, the home exchange services, our guarantees and deposits are there to help you in case you need assistance.
Can you explain what a deposit is? The deposit, just go over.
Yeah, deposit. Okay, so deposit guarantees, let me just explain it because it seems to be the question. Deposits, so when you create, when you organize an exchange, you automatically give us permission to hold 500 euros from your account. It's not that we charge you 500 euros, it's simply just the permission to hold the 500 euros. So if I were to go to your house, okay, I would have to give permission to HomeExchange to hold that 500 euros during the exchange and up until 10 days after the exchange. So that makes sure that in case I damage something, you can claim that against me to say that I damaged something in your home, and we can discuss and decide how much I have to give you from that deposit in order to repay you for the damages. Okay? It is not taken from your account. Okay? If you join the optimal membership, if you take the optimal membership, like in other words, if you organize multiple exchanges, there will be multiple holds on the account for each exchange. If you have the optimal membership, it's one hold for every exchange. Okay, so it's easier. When it comes to the guarantees, the insurance is a little more complicated. So basically, the way the insurance works is there is a damage that goes over the 500, that goes over the 500. In this case, we could use the insurance. The insurance covers you up to 1 million euros of damages. So what else? Kind of questions? I remember there were a few questions about insurance, specific stuff that people were asking. I'm going to keep going with the questions though if they come back to me. I have planned exchange. How do I confirm it in the system on both ends so that deposit insurance kicks in? Just make sure that the host pre-approves and make sure you finalize before going on the exchange. Or if you're the host, make sure you pre-approve and make sure that your guest finalizes the exchange. Don't understand what it meant when I was asked return the deposit. As far as I know, I didn't get a deposit. So you weren't holding the deposit, we were holding the deposit. When you say returning deposit, you're basically saying to HomeExchange that nothing happened in your house and that you're willing for us to release our hold on your guest's deposit. Tell me about guarantees and deposit, as I haven't heard this before. We just completed an exchange on guest points, and there are quite a bit of damage. Working through keeping the deposit now. Any tips? No. If there are damages, make sure you take photos of it. That will help with our team. Our insurance team to handle the deposit and make sure the claims are taken and handled properly. And afterwards, we'll get back to you with the amount that's awarded for the damages. I sent my request to be verified and still waiting. Yeah, we have since we started the upload verification system, we've had a huge surge in verifications, which is great. But yeah, it might take some time to get to the verifications. I'm brand new to this. If I'm paying cleaner, it is appropriate to ask for that, or do I need to adjust my points value? Good question. This is an issue that some members are having. If you charge somebody for cleaning services, I'm saying it has happened before. Obviously, if it's a reasonable price, I guess bring it up before the exchange. Make sure you state clearly before the exchange that you would like them to offer a cleaning fee. Yeah, so make sure that's stated beforehand. Some members in the past have said, okay, I'll increase the guest points, an extra 10 guest points per night or 5 guest points per night to cover cleaning fees. That has been the case. Everyone's different, but yeah, just be transparent. and be honest with everyone. That's all I can recommend. Optimal member guests subject to a surcharge if the host are optimal member guests subject to a surcharge if the host chooses not to return deposit. Is that covered by HomeExchange? Everybody who does an exchange, optimal or the members in the essential plan, everybody has to use the deposit when doing an exchange. So optimal members, if you accept a guest who is on the essential plan and not an optimal member, be rest assured they have a deposit, you have the deposit, and you are covered. Okay? If my points exchange cancels, what is the situation regarding my deposit and guarantees? If the points exchange cancels, so if the host cancels on you, we help you to find an exchange. If we can't find you an exchange, then your guarantee, which is included in the home exchange services, means that we will put you in a hotel for 100 euros per night. Yeah, and nothing is touched with the deposit. The guarantee comes from us. So if a host cancels, it's on us, not on the host. Similar to the question. How accessible by phone is HomeExchange? What is emergency contact numbers? So we do have an SOS. I think it's sos@homeexchange.com. It's an email address. We usually have a phone number too. Off the top of my head, I don't know the phone number, but we're available 24/7 in case of emergency.
Under contact us.
Okay, at the bottom of the website, contact us, and you'll see the SOS number. Please explain when a damage deposit is required and how it is paid. Explain when a damage deposit is required and how it is paid. Yes, so it basically goes back to you coming home, finding something broken. You do not return the deposit to the member. In this case, we will automatically be warned that you did not return the deposit. Or you did not give us the authority to return the deposit. In that case, we will then contact you and the other member and figure out how to.
When does it kick in? When does the deposit kick in? Like when does it apply?
So it applies from the moment that you start the exchange until 10 days afterward. Okay, so the host would have technically 10 days to get back to the house to verify that there was nothing wrong with the exchange. This has been an issue because we do have members that do multiple exchanges and come back at later times. Unfortunately, we can't put a hold on somebody's card indefinitely. But yes, so we have to make it 10 days. Are some insurances included in the optimal package? Public liability, accidents. You can find more info. I can send you a link with more details about the insurances and what's covered on it. I won't go into every point because it's very specific. Okay. Exchange registration. So fewer questions here. We're starting to get towards the end. For those 78 who stuck in, thank you. Next time we do a smaller group with more private questions. Judy, I'm frustrated with the guest point edition, diminishing the true exchange culture. Judy, I'm sorry you feel that way. It's sort of just an evolution, an extension of the balloon system and the old home exchange. Like I said many times before in this webinar, it's up to you if you want to use them. It just creates more flexibility so that more people can go on exchange and more people can travel the world. Jose, can I restrict months that I want to use for exchange? Of course. Put your availability in the calendar and make sure to put not contacted outside of my availability. Debbie, what do you do if someone wants a whole month exchange but never finalizes the exchange? How long do you wait? First you have to finalize, make sure that you have an exchange agreement. So yeah, just follow up with them as much as you can to make sure that they finalize the exchange. Obviously, I would do it as soon as possible. How do you proceed after agreeing to the, okay. Linda, can the non-simultaneous exchange process be simplified? The current process is too cumbersome. We're looking at working on this. I'm not sure in what way it's cumbersome. It's, there's a lot of details to fill out maybe, but we're working on simplifying this. only because we know that sometimes non-reciprocal exchanges are also reciprocal exchanges at later dates. So we know. How do you see what exchanges we have organized, the homes we are going to other than in messages? If you go to finalized exchanges, you'll see all the exchanges that you're going to be going to. It shows you all the finalized exchanges that you have. Your current site is impossible to use, nothing works. Oh, I'm sorry you feel that way, Carol. It's getting better. What assistance is provided for exchangers not honored by one of the parties? What assistance is provided not honored? So, Ellen, all exchanges should be honored if they finalized. It should be an exchange agreement, and everyone's covered under our home exchange service. So, oh, you mean exchangers? Okay, exchanges. This falls under the cancellation guarantee. Like I said, we help you put another exchange or a hotel. Non-standard exchange, not using guest points. Yes, it's possible. I find this new website does not seem as personal. We do not have second home, so it's more difficult to work with points. Then don't use points and try to search for reciprocal exchanges. Not too many people have secondary homes on the website, so it shouldn't be that big of an issue. I want to learn about the home exchange, and if it's for me, I can learn from a forum. Deborah, once we have the chat session open, that'll be a way to talk. Join the Facebook groups if you're an optional member. A lot of advice, a lot of comments, a lot of criticisms, a lot of everything going on in the Facebook groups. So yeah, join. What if we don't have a street address, Eric? If your house is not able to be found by Google, reach out to our happiness team. They will help you get sorted. I would appreciate a step-by-step explanation to registration. Who invites whom? What if you don't have dates yet? So Colette, so yeah, step-by-step explanation. Send a request. You send a request with the exchange dates and your preference of non-reciprocal or reciprocal. All these can be changed. It's probably a big question. I'm gonna say this. If you want, contact me, david@homeexchange.com, and we can maybe organize a phone call and I can walk you through it. Yes, it's kind of a big question. Can we change the details about guests and add details about car exchanges? No, car exchanges not possible. A better way to register a reciprocal exchange where one side of the exchange dates are not known. Becky, that's what I was referring to before. We're looking about how to make this possible. We realized that for the new home exchange, the way we label reciprocal exchanges at later dates are basically two non-reciprocal exchanges. We realized, though, that some people pretty much call them reciprocal exchanges, even though we call them two non-reciprocal. So yeah, we're looking for a way to change that in the system. And we'll skip now to calendar. Almost done. How can a host note on the calendar that either a non-simultaneous or guest point exchange is sought? This goes back to how you label your availability periods. Is there a way to block out dates on the calendar rather than leave them blank? Yes, you can automatically do that, as I discussed previously. Going back into my home. In this case, I have added my availability periods. As you can see, they are green. I can add another one here. Just wanted, I'll make it. Okay, these are the dates and times at which people are allowed to contact me for an exchange. I wish to be contacted only regarding my available periods. This means that members could only send me a message for these periods here. And everything else is technically blocked. How do I put my house available for regular exchanges and for points on the same dates? My house available for, in this case, I recommend that you use the available here. This kind of means that you're open to reciprocal or non-reciprocal exchanges. Okay, skip to this one. The calendar system is confusing. Also, the guest points, how much to set. How much to set. So they're automatically set the guest points. The calendar system, sorry you find it confusing. It'll get easier once we change maybe the labeling. But it was a big request by a lot of members, and hence the reason why we came up with the calendar system. How visible is our calendar to non-paying non-members? So yeah, your calendar is visible. I'm pretty sure your calendar is visible, right?
It's not.
Now, your calendar is not visible unless you have a
Unless you have an account.
yeah, unless you have an account. So yeah, if you don't have an account, you can't see anybody's calendar. If you do have an account, everybody can see it. Yes, non-paying and non-paying members. In other words, essential.
They can't see your location.
Yeah, so the essential members and the optional members can see your calendar, but they cannot see your confidential information, which includes your address, your phone number, your location, or anything like that. Susan, is it okay to ask if an exchange is possible if the calendar is not marked as available? If the person does not have availability periods blocked and they can receive messages, go ahead and send a message, see what they say. Please explain color coding on the calendar. My experience has been confusing. So Elizabeth, we're changing the color coding again. So maybe it's not the best to explain now, but basically available is when you're open to any type of exchange. Guest wanted means that you're looking to host people for guest points. With the new system, I cannot restrict searches to a certain number of exchanges. I cannot find who wants to come to my location. Not sure I follow here. So if you put 2 different periods, those are 2 different exchange periods that your home is available. And people will search you and send you requests for those 2 different exchange periods. So that's the way to get 2 exchanges. I'm sorry, Ann, I don't think I followed here, but David at HomeExchange.com, send me an email. Barbara, please allow calendar to differentiate between reciprocal and non-reciprocal availability. Coming soon. When can we have captions on photos? Coming soon. I also have my home on VRBO and Airbnb. Is there any way to sync calendars with my HomeExchange calendar? Well, Ram, unfortunately, no. That would be assisting basically other members, other websites, so no. And yeah, a lot of members also don't like that other people are on these types of websites. So I would maybe, yeah, don't say that. And also, please do not suggest to do an Airbnb if you're on our website. It's not part of the HomeExchange spirit. I'm very concerned with what we can't we can't mark ourselves on the calendar. I'd be happy to talk to someone before March 13th about it. I'm concerned with what we can't mark ourselves on the calendar. I'm not sure I understand, Carol, but oh, it's March 13th today. Carol, send me an email, David at HomeExchange.com. See what I can do. Can location of home be more prominent? Often unclear where request is coming from. Also really miss seeing the family profile. Family profile is coming back. Can location of home be more prominent? So yeah, it's, I'm saying, I'm not sure how. We just have to go into the home and offer unclear where request is coming from. This goes back to the previous one. Yeah, so usually people state where they're coming from in the message. I'm not sure how we can make it more clear. Usually in the messages, we can see the location. So all messages, like I see Caitlin's coming from Somerville, David's coming from Paris, and Clemens is coming from Maynard. So I can see the location right away in just the messages. So Shannon, can location of home be more good? Lisa, what happens when I have to cancel or change the dates on an exchange? So yeah, in this case, you have to cancel the exchange and send another request, or request that your guests send another request. It's sort of a mess, I agree, which is why we're going to try and see if we can do where we can modify the exchange details even after the finalized exchange and just refinalize the exchange with the same conversation. Robin, my whole house is available as I'm not there, but this doesn't put me in guest wanted category, confusion reigns. My whole house is available.
I think she means that her whole calendar is free for the whole time, but she hasn't marked it as a.
Okay, so Robin, put available for the whole year, and you'll start getting a lot of requests. Why do I have to mark available dates? Why not just block those not available? Because it helps with the search to guarantee more specific time periods. We used to have the block, like we used to have the reverse, and we realized that it created less requests being sent, which is why we did the opposite of what this sort of is. I don't think that was very clear, but yeah, so it's just easier for the search and easier for people to send more requests and understand when people's homes are available. Tony, our guests have recently asked for a change of date for their exchange, and we have agreed. How do I change the dates on our calendar? You don't have to change the dates on the calendar, you just have to change them in the exchange details. If you already finalized the exchange, you will need to cancel it and just have your guests send you another request for the new exchange dates. Is there a way we can control our own calendar so it accurately reflects our situation? Of course, you can control, as I showed you before, when you're available, when you're not available. Patty, how to make calendars used more efficiently that people on searches are frustrating? What I'm saying is when you're searching for homes, make sure you put dates for when, like if you're searching for a destination, make sure you put dates that you find homes available at those dates. Pamela, why can't I find my calendar? It's in your home, so if you go to My Home, you'll see your calendar. And how do you show unavailable periods? Like I said, you don't show them. Anything that's not available is just unavailable. Okay, almost done. Home and profile. The guest points seem to have been given randomly. I understand you have an algorithm, yet I think it needs refinement. So Lori, if that's the case, it might be that when you're looking, it might be that when we merged the old HomeExchange into the new HomeExchange, a few of the profiles weren't completely filled out, which means that the members have to go back in and fill out their profiles, which created some discrepancies in the amount of guest points and maybe an unevenness to what number the guest points value was. I think that's slowly improved since the past few months. But yeah, the algorithm has been pretty, saying it's monitored. So yeah, it should be okay. Just getting started. How can I convince my wife this is a good idea? John, that's a good question. I think we had a blog or two about that one.
I'll put a link to the blog.
Yeah, we'll put a link to the blog, and you can try and convince her. Maybe just surprise her, show up at a house one day, and I don't know, just magically greet people one time, book an exchange. Barbara, I live in a mobile community. It is seniors. I don't think I qualify. Do I qualify? I own my modular home. Barbara, yes, of course you qualify. If your home is your home, if you want to offer it up and somebody wants to stay there, then yes, of course, you're more than welcome to host and join our community. Jeffrey, please go over all steps to make our profile listing the best it can be. That's a very detailed question. Okay, write me an email, david@homeexchange.com. When will the website repairs be completed? Vivian, so hopefully by the end of spring. I'm saying, like I said, every day we're addressing new concerns. It's an ongoing process. It will always be an ongoing process of improving the website, but I think we've at least addressed what the bugs are and working to improve them. What is most important to tell about my home? And how many pictures should I include? At least 5 pictures, that's for verification. About your home, we give you some examples. Just obviously be as honest as possible and give us all the details you can. And Debbie also likes when you add locations, transport within your profile so she knows how to get to your home from major airports or anything like that. So yeah, include local transport as well. Robin, how do I edit my profile? Have moved house and want to delete the previous home and add our current house. Perfect. Put your old house offline and create a new home. add a new listing. So if you go here, profile, add a home. Click here and you can create a whole new home. How do I edit my profile? Okay, why do I have multiple listings for my home? You maybe have multiple listings because you might have merged your old HomeExchange account to your old guest-to-guest account, which means you have two homes. You might have had multiple emails and merged them too. Robin, send me an email, david@homeexchange.com. I will push the link into your email address and see why. We can always delete one and keep the one that you want. Why do I have multiple listings? Albert says, no. Don't know if I've been verified, sent an email, but never heard back. You would know if you were verified. You would have a green check mark under your name, and you'd have an extra 100 guest points. Like I said, there might be a delay on the verification because the high demand since we created the new verification system. Are you planning to add filters to show if the owner has pets? Yes, filters are there already. Pets welcome, as you saw before. This one. Pets welcome, or join a pet lovers group and make sure that you know that they have pets as well. The old format provided more information about the members, which was helpful. So yeah, Mary, there's a lot of information you can find. Obviously, depending, say the information that we brought over from the old HomeExchange members is pretty much the same information that we ported over into the new accounts. So it should be there. It's true that we have less tags maybe. Like this home is by the beach, but yeah, we can work on something like that, and I can see that there's a trend here, so I can maybe include that to the product team. So I'll skip the next one. And what efforts are being made to secure the site from fraudulent, incomplete, inactive listings? This is coming from Susie. Susie had brought me this question before. Like I said, I'm saying we don't see this as we don't see too many cases of fraudulent behavior, but if you're looking to avoid these incomplete homes or inactive listings or people only looking to guest and they have these profiles that maybe aren't true, verified members. Make sure that you're only contacted by verified members by putting the filter on, and make sure when you're searching for homes, you only search for verified homes. Like this, you can avoid all of these people.
Say that on the blue check mark. Say that on the blue check mark.
Yeah, the people with the check mark. Verified people.
And if they do come across a fraudulent listing.
Yes. And if you do come across a fraudulent listing, somebody who maybe lives at a 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, Susie knows what I'm talking about, or maybe somebody who has the White House has photos and you know that's not their house, flag their profile so that we can reach out to them and stop them from doing that. I'm saying, obviously, we can't have eyes everywhere, but our community, we have to help it improve altogether. So yeah, flag them and we'll take them out. Okay, messaging system. When receiving an email about an inquiry, I can see where the house is in the subject line and not have to log in for that. Email about an inquiry. Okay, I can see the house in the subject line. I actually just received an inquiry. I'm going to check that right now. Sorry for this. You have a HomeExchange message from? I do not see the, since I see I see where the house is in the subject line.
Maybe a case by case situation.
I don't see that, but it could be that you are receiving maybe requests from your preferred destination, so it knows which area you're looking for. But yeah, it should be able to tell you, like the city, at least maybe that the home is in. It wasn't the case though. But write me, david@homeexchange.com, we can look at it together. Can we make the greetings kinder? The automatic responses were originally written by French people and translated very poorly. So yes, it might be very aggressive. We changed a few of them already, but we will be making the automated greetings a little bit more kinder. Ronald, how to review an exchange offer. So when you go into the conversation, where is it? I have one open. Messages. Caitlin. So I seem to have been logged out. So let's log back in. Okay, so an exchange request, usually you can see all the details of the exchange here. Once this exchange is finalized, you could technically go here, you'll see a sign that says exchange details. If you click on that, you'll have all the details of the exchange, the host's phone number, email address, everything in between. So yeah, click, once it's finalized, click here and it'll give you all the specific details of your exchange. Can you have tablets? Labels for archives and favorites. What is this? Yes, we are working on that in the conversation history, but like I said, you can find that already here. Unreplied messages, replied messages, archives, sent, finalized exchanges, so you can already break them down. We are looking to create folders though, where you can put like exchange, like messages sent to Paris or something like that. So it's coming. Why can't I write my own no thanks reply? I write one, and after I send it, some other response is sent with my name. That shouldn't be the case. I think maybe you're clicking no, and then it automatically populates. You should be able to say no. I think maybe it also, when you say no, it auto-populates like a no. Actually, I don't know. I would have to do a test maybe to see. I'm going to say no to no. Well, now it's too late because I already accepted the conversation, but yeah, you should be able to send your own message and it shouldn't auto-populate. It will maybe auto-populate that you're declining the exchange. Candice, why can't I write my own note? No, sorry, I'm confused with the messaging system. I can't tell if a message has been sent. So Patty, if the message appears in this area here, this box, it has been sent, okay? When will you reinstall the map where people have made previous exchanges? Very helpful. I don't think we're gonna reinstall this one. You mean like the map of your previous exchanges? I don't think we're gonna do that, but I know which one you're talking about from the old HomeExchange. Yeah, I'm sorry, that won't be an option. Charles, chat line return, checkbox for reciprocal only exchanges, reverse search fixes. Okay, we have a lot of requests here. Chat line's coming back. Reciprocal exchanges only is coming with the calendar. Reverse search will be fixed soon. And allow open dates on non-reciprocal exchanges. That's definitely more difficult, but we are taking that into consideration. So yes. Okay, I am officially done answering all the questions. I have 59 people who stuck through. I really appreciate you. I hope I helped. Honestly, I have nothing else to do tonight. I don't know if Caitlin does, but if you want to ask me some questions, I'll stay on the line for another 10 more minutes. Go ahead and ask, and I'll answer them live. Any questions, Karen?
Let's see here. Melinda just making a suggestion. She said, we sent a request. The host said it was peak time, so the guest point numbers was higher. We were happy for the increased number, but it would be nicer if it was shown on the calendar. It's a good suggestion. You can add that to Dev.
So peak time with like calendar?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that could be something where like they maybe like auto move the based on peak times in certain areas. I'm saying that could be the case. Yeah.
We'll pass that on to Dev. Do you have to be an optimal user to get covered by insurance and security?
No, you don't have to be an optimal user, but it is a fee of $15 per night if you do an exchange. In order for you to benefit from the HomeExchange services, it's probably more cost effective to become an optimal member. Yeah.
How do I deselect groups from my groups?
Deselecting groups from your groups. It's deselect my cat lovers because I'm actually a dog lover. My profile. I think I actually had this question once to myself. Let's see. Let's go to manage my groups. Click on here, group page. Leave the group. I am leaving the group. I am no longer a cat lover.
Okay. Carol said, I want to be able to control what is marked on my calendar, to be able to put something on the calendar and say my house is not available, and to put when I actually am looking for an exchange while it is available most of the time.
Okay. So in that case, so it's basically like saying it's weird because everyone looks at the calendar differently. So yeah, it's kind of like I said before. I would just recommend you put the dates that your home's available. My home's available all of May. And then I would just say to not contact me during the not available periods here. And like this, you're sure that nobody will contact you outside of that period. Is that good enough?
How can I write a review for someone that we stayed with in November 2018?
Okay. So
that's from Pat.
Yeah, Pat. November 2018 is too far away. So what happens is that after you do the exchange, and so say you and I do an exchange, I would be prompted after the exchange to write a review about the exchange, and so would you. I would send in my review, and once you send in your review, we would be able to see each other's reviews. If you did an exchange of more than 40 days ago, you can no longer review, you can no longer rate the exchange, and if your host or guest did write a review, you would be able to see it. My short answer is that after 40 days, you cannot write a review anymore. But if you want, you can contact our happiness team, and they will help you to do it from the back end to add a review to a previous exchange.
See, if you aren't an optimal user, are you covered for exchanges of your home?
Yes, you'll have to pay the nightly fee though.
The member.
Yeah, you have to pay the nightly fee of $15 per night.
And I think that's it. Ask one more question. If anyone has more questions.
Anyone more questions? Anything?
There seems to be an increase in homes with no pictures. What are your thoughts on the reasoning for not posting it?
I'm saying from our end, we don't see that's the case. We can monitor the homes that are coming in and the qualification rate and the conversion rate. In other words, how many people are actually filling out their profiles and putting pictures on. And we haven't seen a decrease. Actually, we've seen an increase in conversion and people filling out their profiles. So at least on our end, we don't see that. If that's, it could be just that they're new members in the process of filling out their homes. But yeah, definitely, if you see something strange, flag it, or let us know.
Who exactly from the public can see members' calendar? For example, would a non-paying member be able to view my availability and book finalized blocks on the calendar?
A non-paying, so in the end, everyone's a paying member. It's either though you pay in the moment that you do the exchange, which is more expensive, or you do the yearly membership. So if somebody registers, in other words, they fill out their account and they become a member, and they fill out their account to 80% or more, they can then contact you. A member who hasn't filled out their profile to 80% cannot contact
you. How do I flag someone? You can go ahead and follow my account.
Okay, I'm gonna flag. Actually, I might not need to because it's pretty clear. So yeah, this is another member's account. I'm not gonna flag them because I didn't do anything wrong. But if you see the contact button here, over here you have report and abuse. If you were to click that, it would flag them as somebody who has done something wrong, and our happiness team would reach out to them.
A number of the old home exchangers like myself are concerned that the tone of the requests have changed. Is there a template that can be supplied for new members as a request for availability with no other info, which is not what we are used to? I think this may also be reflecting badly on the guest point system.
So that's strange. I can say that even when I was in the old guest to guest, it was always a priority, and we know that we have kept blogs on it, like how to reach out to other members. Because obviously, if someone says, "Is your home available? I want to come to your home," it's rude. I'm saying I wouldn't accept them I wouldn't accept them. There is another issue that I noticed myself receiving requests. That sometimes we get requests from people who are maybe from a different country, a different culture. So maybe the way they write can come off a little bit abrasive, and maybe even the way they translate their message can come off wrong. But I can say that we do work on educating our members to send proper messages, to be as kind as they can, because obviously a lot can be said in how somebody contacts us.
Can guest points be transferred between members?
Guest points cannot be transferred between members. It can only be done in terms of finalized exchanges. We do this because we don't want members creating fake accounts to just transfer guest points to one another. And also, just to make sure you guys know this, but we do have a fraud detector internally installed on our system, where if somebody were to create fake exchanges between fake accounts in order for them to earn extra guest points, it is immediately flagged on our system. We can tell this by different criteria that we use. We have a special algorithm that hunts down these exact exchanges. So if anyone were to do that, we would notice right away, and we would put them offline. So it's not possible. So yeah, no exchanging of guest points between members.
This is a suggestion from Pat. We have a notebook on how the house runs, what to see, local maps, and how the kitchen appliances work. This is a good idea for people who don't know how things work in the house, and we have gone to houses that have no clue on how kitchen appliances work.
Yeah, we realize this is the point. We actually, so HomeExchange is working on a separate project that not many people know about. It's called Happy Guest. We're looking to create sort of like a book, a digital book that has all the details of your house. It's not 100% ready yet. We realize that a lot of our HomeExchange members are probably more detailed than we are in this HomeExchange guide. So yeah, it's called Happy Guest, and it's happyguest.com. If you would go there, you can fill out all the details of your home and share it with people for limited time so that they can use it to get into your home and to use your appliances. But yeah, we understand that this is something, and we do like to push this every once in a while in communications and in blogs. We also, for example, if you check out the checklist about what to do for a home exchange, you'll see that we include a lot of things. Okay. Okay, guys, probably the longest webinar ever, but I'm happy everybody stayed. Well, you stayed, big chunk. Yeah, we'll do this again in a month. Maybe we'll do a smaller group and maybe focus on one specific topic, so this way we can maybe cut down on the number of questions and open up to a few select members. I hope this was helpful. I wish you all the best exchanges, and I'm always available if you want to send me an email. My email address is david@homeexchange.com. So happy exchanging, and I guess we'll see each other on the HomeExchange website. So have a good evening.